What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Got my mans with me right here, Anthony, Michael, Russo, aka Mr. Be the Change. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing fantastic. How everybody out there? I hope you're having a great day, having a great Sunday, and we're about to take you to church.
That's right. That is right, my friend. So, as you guys can see in the caption of this video, it's like, yo, what should we be doing right now? All right, with everything looking the way that it is, because if you're watching the news right now, you're probably confused or angry or sad. But I don't think anybody that is a Trump supporter is actually happy watching the news, unless you've seen the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Million Man MAGA March, or what was it? What was it called?
Yeah, Million MAGA March.
That was dope. That was dope. It was really cool. But I just want to tell you guys, see, we're coming out here right now to give you some encouragement and let you know that all is not lost, no matter what happens. I believe, I'm going to keep saying it, I believe that we are still good and we're going to win. As you can see, I'm sitting in the Oval Office right now. Right now, I'm sitting in the Oval Office because that's how much faith that I got. I believe that one day, Trump's going to be like, yo, Cash, come sit in the Oval Office. You know what I'm saying? Come hang out with me for these next 4 years. I'm like, yeah, dope. Gotcha. Be there.
See, I'm with you, kind of. I believe that Trump will call you to be on the Trump Media Network. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to bring my white friend with me. We're going to have a show. And I think no matter how you look at it, Trump is going to be giving you a call. You're either going to be in the Oval Office or you're going to have a TV show on the coming Trump network.
I got to tell you something. I don't have any white friends. All my friends are American. Yeah.
America. Yeah. But no, I don't have this. I don't share the same faith as you at this point. I think, and it's not that I don't think there was some fraud issues. I don't think it's provable because of the way that the way that our system works. It makes it very difficult to check. Is it out of the question that Trump might still be our president? No. Is it daily weaning and waning? And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, so I like to look at it as a realist, but I haven't said this yet on anything that I talk about. So this is the first time I say it. The runoffs are huge, obviously, in Georgia. Like, are we going to have a fully blue? Because if it's 50-50, then Kamala is the vote. She breaks the vote as the vice president as long as Biden ends up being the president. So ultimately, to me, I'm like, and Cash, I'm going to ask you this question because at first I was like, God, I hope we hold on to something.
Right.
However, what's going to happen is if things don't work and things don't happen, the first 2 years, they are going to blame it on the conservatives. They're going to say they are stopping the process of progress, etc. Whereas at this point, I would say, screw it. If what will be done, it may be in planned or whatever it could be. It could be the greater plan beyond all. If it's a fully blue house and we start just destroying ourselves by year 2 and year 3, which to me, economically, socially, etc., it'll be whatever, then at least our country will know a little bit more. Our country will go, okay, that experiment didn't work and become more conservative or third party or whatever it might be.
Lucy, I love you. You know that, right? Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
But you got to have a little more faith because right now, I ain't going to lie, you just kind of like made me a little sad. And I think you made a couple of the viewers sad because we were at 1,300 and now we're at 1,275 because I think that was just a little depressing what you just said. But it's okay. I'm about to lift your spirits right now because I know you think it looks bad. Wait,
the greater purpose.
Wait, keep going. No. Hear me out, because you're always my encouragement, okay? So let me be your encouragement. You know what I'm saying? That beautiful smile that you got, we're going to keep it there. Watch this. I got something for you guys. I want everybody to watch this video that I'm about to share with you right now, okay? And I'm not going to be like Russo and forget to put the audio. Got this.
By the way, I mean, I want Trump to win. It's just
I know you do. I'm
looking at all angles. I'm finding the positive no matter what direction is what I'm doing.
Check this out. I want everybody to watch this. And if you haven't yet, I need you guys to do me a favor. Please like this video, share this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, I can't stress how important that is. If you can do that for me, it would mean the world to me because that directly affects how I pay the bills and it doesn't cost you a dime. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. We're going to go ahead and roll this clip. You ready, Rusi?
Always.
Mute mic.
Breaking news now. Dominion Voting Systems say they categorically deny any and all of President Trump's claims that their voting machines caused any voter fraud in key swing states or electoral fraud. But reports contradict that claim. In 2016, a senior executive at Dominion told the Illinois State Board of Elections that it is possible to bypass their election system software. Here's what the vice president of engineering at Dominion at that time, Eric Coomer, told the board during a meeting in good old Cook County.
No, we are not allowed to do routine updates without having to go through a recertification effort, but we do routinely give guidance on how to best secure systems, and also going back again to the final mitigation against all of this is a robust auditing and canvassing process, which all of our jurisdictions have implemented.
Coomer said no updates can be done without recertification, as you heard. Mr. Coomer's assurances of a secure system, however, are contradicted by the fact that various vendors, election officials, and others reportedly can access the voting machine code without an update being required. And we know that there were updates on those machines a day before the election. Well, joining us tonight is Sidney Powell, a member of President Trump's legal team, General Flynn's defense attorney, a great American and prominent appellate lawyer. Great to have you with us, Sidney. Let's start with Dominion. A straight out disavowal of any claim of fraud against the company, its software or machines. Your reaction?
Well, I can hardly wait to put forth all the evidence we have collected on Dominion, starting with the fact it was created to produce altered voting results in Venezuela for Hugo Chavez, and then shipped internationally to manipulate votes for purchase in other countries, including this one. It was funded by money from Venezuela and Cuba, and China has a role in it also. So if you want to talk about foreign election interference, we certainly have it now. We have staggering statistical evidence. We have staggering testimony from witnesses, including one who was personally in briefings when all of this was discussed and planned, beginning with Hugo Chavez and how it was designed there, and then saw it happening in this country. As soon as the state shut down on election night and stopped counting, those are the states where the most egregious problems occurred. We also need to look at, and we're beginning to collect evidence on the financial interests of some of the governors and secretaries of state who actually bought into the Dominion systems, surprisingly enough. Hunter Biden type graft to line their own pockets by getting a voting machine in that would either make sure their election was successful or they got money for their family from it.
Well, that's straightforward. It may take, you're going to have to be quick to go through and to produce that investigation and the results of it. The December deadlines are approaching for electors, and just as we saw in 2000 with Bush v. Gore, how critical are those deadlines, and how urgent does that make your investigation and discovery?
Well, for fraud this serious, I think even if the states are stupid enough to go ahead and certify the votes where we know the machines were operating and producing altered election results, if they're stupid enough to do that, then they will be set aside by the fraud also. I mean, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of votes. President Trump won this election in a landslide. It's going to be irrefutable, and patriots are coming forward every day, all day, faster than we can collect their information with the testimony they're willing to give under oath about how their votes were stolen and how the machines operated. They were updated the night of the election, sometimes after the election. We've got statistical evidence that shows hundreds of thousands of votes being just put in and replicated. It's going to be, there needs to be a massive criminal investigation, and it's going to affect millions of voters and elections.
With these allegations, these charges, is the FBI already carrying out an investigation of these voting companies where their servers are domiciled? And in at least three instances, we know they're in foreign countries. Tell us where the Justice Department is in all of this.
I wish I knew. I'm not on the inside, so I'm not privy to that information. I know that even Democratic senators and congresspeople for years have reported problems with this system to the FBI and to the government, and nobody's done a blooming thing about it. The people in the election security part of the Department of Homeland Security need to be fired yesterday. They're absolutely ridiculous. Of course, Chris Wray needs to be fired too, because the only FBI interview of any witness was to intimidate him and try to get him to change his truthful testimony 4 hours by an anti-Trump FBI agent. They still have politics infecting the FBI instead of just following the law. We are on the precipice of, this is essentially a new American revolution. And anybody who wants this country to remain free needs to step up right now. These are federal felonies. Altering a vote or changing a ballot is a federal felony. People need to come forward now and get on the right side of this issue and report the fraud they know existed in Dominion voting systems, because that's what it was created to do. It was its sole original purpose. It has been used all over the world to defy the will of people who wanted freedom.
Sydney, at the outset of this broadcast, I said that this is the culmination of what has been over a 4-year effort to overthrow this president, to first deny his candidacy, the election, but then to overthrow his presidency. This looks like the effort to carry out an end game in the effort against him. Do you concur?
Oh, absolutely. And it's been organized and conducted with the help of Silicon Valley people, the big tech companies, the social media companies, and even the media companies. And I'm going to release the Kraken.
Well, good, because this is an extraordinary and such a dangerous moment in our history. I really am very concerned for the country. I am very concerned for all Americans. And I have a feeling that most Democrats are first Americans and not Democrats. They have to be as alarmed as any one of us. Cindy, we're glad that you are on the charge to straighten out all of this. It is a foul mess, and it is far more sinister than any of us could have imagined, even over the course of the past 4 years. You get the last word, Sydney.
It is indeed a very foul mess. It is farther and wider and deeper than we ever thought, but we are going to go after it, and I am going to expose every one of them.
So, did you hear all of that, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I was literally, I think before I saw it anywhere else, I was talking about Dominion software.
Yep.
I was talking about the issue.
Yep.
And I do want to respond to the comments about me being negative about thinking Trump might lose. I'm being a realist. I'm saying, and I'm not saying he did lose. There's a huge difference. I'm not saying he did lose. I'm saying that
I get what you're saying. You're saying that it's hard to prove it. They might have gotten away with what they did. I get it.
Correct.
We know.
And
if anybody that knows Russo knows that this dude is one of the biggest Trump supporters, just like me. And the brother wants him to stay in office. Believe that. He's just, like you say, he's a very real person, and it's hard to prove something. Yeah.
Yeah. But the one thing I want to say about Dominion software, and the reason why I thought, okay, this is fishy, is in the very beginning, Cash, I talked about how, like, you know, when you see a news story and it's super like emotionally triggering, you automatically assume that it's bull crap. It's not. So I saw the whole story about Pelosi having ties to it, and I go, that can't be true. This has got to be typical far right media. No, she does. And if you go to the fact check organizations, the Nancy Pelosi's former chief of staff is a lobbyist for Dominion software, which to me is a conflict of interest. And the way the fact checkers covered it up, Cash, was by saying no, this is a rumor, this is a falsity, because
Yep.
he is not the lobbyist. He is one of the lobbyists. That's so
Exactly.
ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd.
You're exactly right. But seeing that, like I was saying, see, here's the thing. Even if, let's say, worst case scenario, they get away with what they did. All right. Let's say that this worst case scenario, they get away with what they did, and Sleepy gets to be the president. All right. The main thing that all of us, Democrat, Republican alike, the main thing that we need to do is come together. All right. And the reason that I say that is because on both sides, the reason why people gravitated towards Donald Trump was not because he was a conservative. It was not because he was a Republican. It was because he wasn't a politician. That's the main thing I want everybody to grasp is, at the end of the day, nobody wants another politician, because all the politician's going to do is come in, tell you a beautiful lie, get your vote, and then say, fuck you. That's what they do. That's what they've always done. I personally like Trump because he was real. He reminds me of a me that I want to be in the future. Like, is he's something to aspire to. And I don't mean that in the sense of because he's a billionaire or whatever. I mean that because the dude had no political experience at all. And he took something that his father had given him and worked his ass off and created something even more, then said that he wanted to become the president to help save the country, came in, did exactly that, came in and helped turn everything around. He didn't make a false promise. He didn't come in and not deliver on all the things that he said he was going to deliver on. And he's a real ass dude. He speaks his mind. He's not perfect. Like me, he's got a couple baby mamas, but he takes care of all of his kids. The dude, he seems like a regular ass American to me. He just got money. You know what I'm saying? But he'd never let his money not make him real or make him care any less about people that didn't have money. He came in and took America and tried to make it the best that he possibly could for people that were rich and poor alike, and helped to create the middle class again, help create jobs, help bring manufacturing back, help to make America great again. And that's why that man will forever have my respect. And that's the reason why I will always say I support Trump. All right. Now, when I say come together, I mean that no matter what happens moving forward, let's say that he's out of office, then we're going to have only politicians, because I don't know anybody else that's running in this game, man. Any politicians that are in a higher position that really care about the people. I know a lot of them that have made promises that have been there for a very long time and have not delivered. I know people that give you something like a pacifier. You know how you give a baby a pacifier to shut them up? That's what these politicians do. They give you a pacifier to shut you up and keep you quiet until the next time you get mad. Then they give you another pacifier. And you think that they're doing something for you when they're really not. And that's the problem that we have, is we believe in these politicians. I don't believe in a politician at all. At all. I support a lot of them for some of the things that they are trying to do. But at the end of the day, most of them are bullshitters. They lie to get what they want, to help further their career, to help further their agenda. That's what they do. All right. So I believe Trump's going to stay in office. That's my belief. That's my faith. And I'm very hopeful for that. But if it happens that he does not, we all need to come together, Democrat, Republican alike, because this country is being torn apart and divided by politicians who want to further their agenda. They don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about me. Only thing they care about is their position, their title, and their pocketbook. That's it. Their wallet. That's what they care about. We have to care about each other. We have to hold them all accountable. Every single one of them. We have to hold them accountable. And Trump has made it easy for us to be able to do that, because he came in and showed that you can make a promise and keep it. You don't have to lie to get a vote. You can make a promise, keep the damn promise, and keep on moving. He showed that you can get the work done if you really want it to be done. But the only thing is, you can't be bought and paid for. That man wasn't bought and paid for. So we have to hold every single politician accountable, all of our leaders in every aspect, not even just politicians, our pastors. We have to hold them accountable. If you're a Muslim, then you're Sheikh. You have to hold them accountable. Anybody that your alderman, your councilman, you have to hold them accountable. If we want to see progress in this country and we want to see America be better than it was under the Trump administration, if that's even a possibility, which it is, because we can always get better. We can always aspire to be more. We have to hold them accountable. We have to hold the news accountable. Everybody that's in a position of influence or power, hold them accountable. The people that make music, hold them accountable. Everything. We have to come together and do that. No matter what you are, Democrat, Republican, black, white, doesn't matter. And I want you guys to start looking into history, because everybody wants to, look at say, Lincoln. They say Lincoln freed the slaves, right? Lincoln freed the slaves, so therefore Lincoln gets all the praise from everybody. But that's not the case. If you do the study and you look into it, Republican, Democrat, it never really has mattered. Republican and Democrat never really has mattered. It's always been for their agenda. Lincoln said, if I could have got away with furthering his agenda and not freeing the slaves, that he would have done it. People don't realize he didn't even care to free the slaves because it was a human rights issue. He wanted to do it because of capitalism. The industrial age came up. You know what I'm saying? And beyond that, he wanted to move black people to a whole nother country. So when you got these people like Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton, and they're coming out and we want to help you and we care about you and all of this, understand it's for their agenda. They only freed the slaves because of the change of the time. And then they only let blacks be able to vote because they needed more votes. It wasn't because they're like, yo, we just want to treat them like regular human beings. That's not what it was. They needed more votes. That's what it was. It was about the votes. That should show you how powerful your voice is, how powerful your vote really is. They were willing to, even though they were racist as hell, to be like, yo, we want these niggas to be able to vote because we need them to further our agenda. If we can get them on our side, then we could get them to, that's how it goes. I want you to look at all of it. Always ask yourself, what's the end game? And we're going to talk more about this stuff later. There's a lot more I want to talk about and get out there to you guys of why accountability is so important, on why unity between each other is so important. There's a lot of work to still be done, you guys. And it doesn't have to be a politician that does it. We can do it together. We can. Russo, take over, brother. Talk to him.
Yeah, that's the whole point is, at the beginning of Streetlights, beginning of Be the Change, the whole concept was, it's so funny because the initial talk about Be the Change in 2016 is our president makes 1% difference in our daily life. The 99% of what we do is fully on us. And that has even changed in me and Cash. Like, we realize that how important this has become because it's a general consensus of the American people. But ultimately, at the end of the day, whether it's Trump or Biden, the feeling that we have to impress upon people is we have the complete power to take action in all the different things that we want to create change in. Because I'm going to tell you something, if Biden becomes president, the schools in this country are not going to get any better instantly, and they're not going to get better with help. They're not going to get better with that. If just because Trump is in office, it doesn't mean just because he made sure that there is $100 million to HBCUs or a platinum plan. There still has to be work done by the people that want to actually create change. There has to be volunteers. There have to be people that get involved. There has to be people that speak upon ways of making the world a better place. Whether it's Biden or Trump, I don't care who it ends. I mean, I do. We know who I want to win. But at the end of the day, that does not change who we are as people. And I've said, if in the worst case scenario, Biden was going to become president, and I talked before the election that it's not even about whether there's voter fraud. It has been 4 years of only allowing our American public to see one side of a story, and it's programming and it's one thing, but at the end of the day, we still have the power to create this change and actually decide to actually be better as human beings and as Americans and drop the bullshit that we've seen and actually start enacting change. And whether it's Trump or Biden, it does not matter how we are as human beings. And if indeed Biden does end up becoming the winner, and this is what I was going to say, I personally, because to me, the liberal public has not turned the other cheek for 4 years, as The View completely lied about on TV. They should do what, the conservatives should do what we did and just suck it up. They didn't. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Now, is that a blanket statement? Yes. Have they to a point? No, they have not. There's no been a suck up. They have constantly said, I do not want Trump to be president. He's not my president, etc. Whereas as conservatives, to me, I say for a period of time, let's turn the other cheek, no matter how difficult that is. And until civil liberties are taken away, until our country loses what it means to be an American, until whatever that is, and that could happen very quickly. But until then, let's work together as Americans. Let's not do what the liberals did against Trump voters, supporters, and Donald Trump, and give a few months, give a half a year, give a year, and do the best we can to be Americans.
Exactly. And here's the thing too, you guys, and why you're not grasping this. Before I say this, black should have never stopped voting Republican. Listen, I hear you, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because at the time when black people were voting Republican, they vote just like how they did with welfare. Why black people started voting Democrat is because of all the things that they thought people were doing for them. When LBJ did the Great Society, they thought this dude's really trying to help us, and Medicare and welfare and all these things. And in actuality, it wasn't that. He could care less about you. He could care less about you. He didn't care about that. He needed your vote. He needed you to be fooled. He wanted you to take the pacifier and be happy. And that's what happened. So when you say black people should have stayed voting Republican, that's not always the case. Just because black people vote Republican doesn't mean that situations change. And that's what I want you to understand. It's not about the party. It's about the policy. It's always about the policy. They voted because of what would best suit them, but then still got stiffed in the end. It was really a ploy to break up families. It wasn't to help you. It was to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And that's been the trend. But beyond that, okay, I want you guys to understand why this is important to talk about what's going on with this election and with the way that we vote. Now, we're under the impression that we are a free society and we have the freedom to vote and that our vote counts. And it's always been that way, which is why they fought so hard for votes, because it's always, you've had the power to change the direction of your country. You have the power to change the direction of your community, all with your voice, with your vote, with a majority of people coming together and saying, this is what we want. Now, if this election is as bad as they say that it is, with the things that's going on with it, that means that they have stole your right to choose what's going to be the future of your community, of your country, of your politics, of your legislation, of your policy, of your rules, of your life. Everything is affected, which means you don't have any control. Basically, is what's being shown to you. If this is all true of what's happened, then you don't have any freedom or any say-so in what direction the country goes. It's decided for you, and you're given the illusion that you have a vote, that you have a voice. That's the big issue. Whether one or the other wins, fine. I want Trump to win all day long. I really do. But if he doesn't, and it wasn't because the people chose it, then that means that we were robbed. We were robbed of our freedom. We were robbed of our right. That's the issue. What else can they rob you from? What else can they take from you? If they can do this on a big scale with all media involved, and how big does it get? Because these people are saying, oh, no, this isn't true. This isn't true. And in the media all day long, they want you to look bad if you're on the other side. They don't want to show you the good things. They don't want to show you the millions of people of different backgrounds and different colors and different creeds and different religions coming together in solidarity with signs saying that love wins and things like that. They don't want to show you that we are more united. They don't want to show you that the division is not real. Instead, they want to show you a small group of people coming out and changing the course of the whole day with bad signs and bashing and fighting and violence. That's what they want you to see. They want you to see chaos. And I want you guys to remember what I'm about to tell you. See, I think that's all planned. When you can create the chaos, if you can create the chaos, then you get to control the situation. And that's what the media does. They create a chaos in your mind so they can control your mind, control how you feel, trigger an emotional reaction, an emotional response of anger or sadness or panic. That's what it is. They've been controlling the whole narrative because so many people watch and believe the news. That's the problem. Okay. And that's the thing that we're going to keep fighting against right there. No matter what happens with this election, and Russo got a mission, and so do all of you. All of you that are here with us right now, you're a part of this mission. We're trying to bring people together and crush the narrative that they've been putting forth. We are more united than we've ever been. We are not divided. The media wants you to think that we are. We're not. And we're going to come together no matter who wins this election, and we're going to show them how it's done. Go ahead, brother.
That's exactly what I'm watching a couple, and the comments are always great. Like people are, I mean, we're energized. We want unity. We want this. But the concept becomes, and as you said, our mission remains the same, and that is a key. And I don't want people to think I want to roll over. That's the dumbest thing on the planet. It is, in life, you make up plans. You look into the future both ways and you do things. And I will tell you, everything in my heart wants me to say, fuck this. Like there was this going wrong, whether the numbers were skewed. He never had a chance. The media's never given a fair chance. People are, when I still have discussions on voting day and people go, he's never denounced white supremacy. And I go, there is 20-minute videos out there where you can see the 78 instances where he has. It drives me nuts because of the way that our media has manipulated people to think one thing and trigger words. Now, is there reasons to not vote for Trump? Absolutely. People can have whatever reason they want. But the reasons that people didn't vote for Trump are because of a bullshit system that only allows one side of media to be 80% of what people sees. And when it comes to rolling over, I do not believe in rolling over, and everything in my heart wants to fight back. But it's pointless. I'm going to tell you, Joe, Steve, Petey, Timmy, Tommy, Sarah, you grab a gun and you fight back. It's not going to get you anywhere right now. Now, if you decide to have a short fuse for corruption and whatever it might be, in the event, and I'm still saying in the event that Donald Trump cannot prove that there was election fraud and the different possibilities, etc., in the event that we have to have Biden as our president, I will stress this. Have a short fuse, have a short string, but give some kind of a string, because God knows that Donald Trump did not get a short string when he started in office, period. To me, there is no way to look at that differently. When you look at the way media handled it, etc., there is no other way to see it. However, we have the ability to give something that we did not receive. And if things change in a week, I don't care. To me, that's not rolling over. That's when you get aggressive, but then you have a reason behind it. Right now, we are thinking of just the same way as Trump got in there, like, oh my God, there's this dude that has no way he should be president. The whole country is going to be racist. So it automatically got in people's heads. Whereas I'm going to say this, I'm not rolling over, but in the event that things go against the way that we want them to, I'm going to continue to be the decent human being that I am, the American that Cash and I want to be, and continue to preach that tolerance that I wish you all have. Until things change to a point where it becomes dangerous, and we have a reason to band together.
I agree, man. I agree 100%. And sadly, that's a big fear, is that whatever happens with this election, I don't know if you guys are aware of what happened with at Biden's campaign victory or whatever, their party that they had for when he supposedly became the president-elect. BLM showed up. Did you see that? They showed up there and they basically said, forget him and forget Trump, that they don't want a president anymore. And for everybody to put their fist up in solidarity of Black power. And if you don't, then you're just as racist as Biden and you're just as racist as Trump. So if they did that, this is what's crazy to me, is these people that made all these demands and all this, they had all this chaos and energy to go out during COVID, a pandemic where none of us could go out. They went out and went to the president that was fighting for them, supposedly, the president-elect that was going to fight for them. And they said, screw him and his campaign party, and told everybody to do what they say, or it's going to be a problem, that they're going to be deemed a racist. To me, that seems like, it seems terroristic. Bless you.
Thank you.
But you feel what I'm saying? Like, if they can do that, what are they going to do is say he does get in. Say he does get in. They're going to control everything. And it's going to cause some civil unrest, which is why I need everybody to stay vigilant and stay to come together. Come together. Everyone come together, because there's going to be, depending on how this all plays out, we're going to be in for a different type of world. And then and it's scary to me, because when Biden says that he wants to implement a 4 to 6 week lockdown, what happened the last time they did a lockdown?
It's not good. And he's at
look. The last time they did a lockdown, so think about it. What happened? Who was really locked down and who was out in the streets and what were they doing in the streets? You had Antifa and Black Lives Matter out there in the streets, rioting, tearing up businesses, destroying property. So if they do a 4 to 6 week lockdown and all the people that are good, they do stay in and they're like, yo, I'm not going to break the law. I'm not going to do this. These people are going to be out there and they're going to be doing the things that we shouldn't be doing, that we shouldn't even allow to be done.
You know, there's a lot to it. And ultimately, you remember the seeing eye posters? You remember those? Yeah. Where like it was like the image and there's dinosaurs. This is the way I see it. And I'm still, again, looking at people's comments of, you know, why would we take it? Why would we just let it happen? And I want to stress I'm not. It's like people are getting confused. I hope that one thing happens, and I think that there's still an opportunity for that. But ultimately, as Antifa and BLM and not all, but a decent amount of the Democratic side continue to spew hate, there has to be a point where if we are turning the cheek over and over, yet supposed to be the hateful side, and this is biblical, if we're supposed to be the hateful, racist, shit-starting side, if we continue to take it, there has to be a point where, just like when the dinosaurs emerged from the seeing eye poster, where all of a sudden people step back and go, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, which has been happening the last several years. It's already been happening, but in greater number. This is our, unfortunately, take it on the cheek, which is the strongest comeback you could possibly have in the face of adversity until your life is on the line and then you truly fight back. I think there is something to be said about the opportunity if there is a failure and if Biden is president, if it goes all blue, we have such an opportunity to unite people by showing people what is really happening and that our enemies are not racist Republicans. Our enemies are not most. Our enemies are Black Lives Matter people. As the organization, our enemies are Antifa. Our enemies are Republican and Democratic politicians. They are out there. Those are the enemies.
Say it again. Say that again.
Enemies of the people are not just liberals or conservative. They're not them at all. The enemies of the people can be Republican politicians, Democratic politicians, and ultimately the media that is fed by all of this. Those are the enemies of the people, not each other.
Facts. Facts. The enemies of the people are the ones who are doing things that will harm the well-being of the people. And that could be a politician on either side. That can be a militia on either side. That can be a protester on either side. That can be anyone that is out here doing what's wrong or preaching what is wrong. It's not hard to understand. And you have a lot of people, what do you call a conservative that's not really conservative, or a Republican is not really Republican, a rhino? There's a lot of rhinos. There's a lot of rhinos, and that's what they've been good at. They've been good at putting people in there to make you think that they're there for you or they're there for the people, and really they aren't. They're there to cause discord. They're there to cause division. They're there to cause confusion. They're there to cause an uproar. They're there to get you triggered. Understand this, you guys. Not everybody that pretends to be a friend is a friend. Not everybody that says they want to help. Maybe they want to help something else or someone else, but they don't want to help the overall of what needs help. Okay. And that's what we got to learn to set aside and understand and look at. I believe Trump's going to stay in office. That is my hope. That is my prayer. I want him there. And you did not have to do that. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I got to call you because I read your comment earlier. Everybody give your prayers out to Ann. She had a loss in the family, and she's a very, very good person, very bright street light. So thank you, Ann. But you guys, look, man, come together. All right. Come together. We have to stick together. We have to. Because if we don't look out for each other, no one is going to look out for us. All right. Nobody. These politicians don't give a damn about us. Okay. If they did, we wouldn't be in the situations that we're in. There would be laws passed that need to be passed. there will be changes made that need to be made. So unless we get another Trump in office, a person that cares about the people, a person that'll say, forget how much money that I'm making, I'll take a pay cut to come in here and get things done right. The man took losses since he's been in office because he cared about the people. That's the kind of person that we need. A person like that won't care about what they gain or what they lose, as long as the people benefit. So it's Trump 2020 until it ain't no more. All right. And it's not because he's a conservative. It's because he's a man of the people. He's the people's president. That's how I look at him. And we're going to keep on believing and fighting.
And it's because, and Cash, because it's the actual electoral process. It's actually not done yet. That is not the way this works.
December 14th.
President. And there is an actual there is, to me, this is where I think the media is dropping the ball and not letting people think, because as you and I both know, the people that have emailed us, sent messages to us, Cash, for example, shows that he didn't vote this year. There is enough reasons to be inquisitive about what is going on, and that's all that we're asking for, is to just say, hey, let's investigate, let's go from there. I'm nobody, and I've had over 20 people message me with issues. Cash said he's had, I think, almost in the triple digits of people sending that they didn't show their vote, weren't registered, etc., showing different things online, questionable opinion. It is enough to where it's not being hateful or being spiteful to say, let's do the American duty and investigate our election. We took 35 days back in 2004 with Bush Gore. So why not we do our due diligence, allow Trump to continue to contest results? And people are like, well, the lawsuits are getting thrown out. Cool. Let them get thrown out until everything is done.
They're being
that is actually the American way.
They're not telling you.
Technically.
Yeah, they're getting thrown out by the states of Democrat ran states, but they're being picked up federally. That's what they're not showing in the news. So they can say what they want to say, but it ain't over until it's over. And I think we still got a lot that's going to come out, a lot that's going to be exposed. And by the end of it all, Trump's going to be our president still for another 4 more years. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I'm standing on that. And I don't care what nobody calls me for it. Think what you want. I want Trump because I believe the man is the best for the country. He's a uniter and an inspiration to people like me. So that's my opinion. That's my belief. If you don't like it, you don't got to follow me. And that's your decision. I welcome you to be here. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I welcome you to be here with me on this platform and with us on this journey to unite people, to unite the country, and bring us all closer together. But if who I'm voting for or want to be the president bothers you, then you're a part of the problem. It doesn't bother me that you want to vote for Biden. I think it's irrational and I don't understand it, but it doesn't make me not want to help you any less. If I seen you on the side of the road, I'm not going to ask you who you voted for. I'm just going to help you meet the need. And that's what we have to get back to. Okay. That being said, Russo, you got anything left for him, man?
No, I mean, you said most of it. We're in limbo right now, regardless. And regardless, that shouldn't affect who we are as human beings. And it's a hard time to even have a conversation because it is being made by the media that says stuff like there is no evidence of fraud. No, there's accusations, there's allegations, which is enough to take some time. And what it's doing is it's doing the same thing that we've done for 4 years of programming that one side is right and one side is wrong. And right now we simply don't know. And if Trump does win again, we got into his dancing song where he did the young man. However, the best song that Trump ever played at his campaign rallies and the rallies that he did and the speeches that he did was "You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need." And to me, that's how I have always looked at Donald Trump more and more every day. And the reason why it's important is to uncover the ridiculousness in this country. And if anybody ever says the shit about him being a white supremacist, a racist, etc.,
I made the videos. They can watch them. Not true.
It is the complete opposite. The biggest thing I've been getting lately, by the way, and I want to talk about this, is the video where he quote unquote mocked the disabled reporter.
And that was taken out of context as well.
First off, I saw something that I had never seen. He actually did a video responding to it.
Yeah.
I've never seen where he goes, I would never do that at disabled report. I didn't, I don't remember who he was. Apparently he knew me. He goes, I knew a lot of people in the 2000s because he actually did the research of why the guy said, oh no, he knew who I was. He goes, 20 years ago, I don't know. And then there is 9 different clips of him doing the exact same motion when somebody gets flustered answering a question. And to me, it's like you take away the white supremacist thing, you take away the disabled reporter, you take away the good people on both sides, which are all factually incorrect. You're left with nothing but a series of mediocre to shitty tweets. Using. Besides that, there is nothing that proves this horrible human being that is being compared to Hitler, and that is the thing that boggles my mind to this day. And I hope that at one point we realize that we don't demonize the supporters of him. And God knows, I hope that the Dominion things be true, because if the Dominion thing is true, then I get to say, told you so.
Yep. Facts, man. Hey, y'all, I appreciate all of you guys tuning in with me. Russo, thanks for jumping on with me. I want to end this show out a little bit different today. All right. I'm doing a little soul searching within myself and trying to make myself a better person. And on that, I don't know what your guys' religious beliefs are. Frankly, it doesn't really bother me what they are, but I know that damn near everybody here is a believer in something higher than themselves. Me, I'm a follower of Christ. So I want to end this out with some prayer. You cool with that?
Deal.
All right. Well, I'm going to say a quick prayer. If you guys want to bow your heads and close your eyes with me, feel free to. All right. Dear God, first and foremost, come before you right now and just say thank you for everything that you're doing right now in my life, in the viewers' lives, and in our country. And I know, like everybody else knows, that you are in total and complete control of everything. So everything that's going on right now is what you want to be. So whether that be one or the other, or against what it is that I want or what anybody else wants, let your will be done, not our will, because you're the best knower. And we trust you. And you is where we put our faith, not in people, not in man, not in a politician, but in you. So I trust that you know what you're doing, and I appreciate everything that you're doing. Thank you for the forgiveness and the grace that you give us every single day, that you allow us to wake up, lead us right, unite us, get us back to you, turn our hearts back to you, create brotherhood between us, sisterhood between us, and break the divide. In Jesus' name I ask and pray this. Amen. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And it's going to be okay no matter what happens. All right? Everything's going to be fine. So that being said, unite, don't fight, be a street light, because only you could be the change that you want to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America, because without God, everything fails. Woo. Yeah, brother. You guys have a great day.
Good night, everybody.
So, appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Appreciate you more.
All right, man.